Okay, so this video is going to go through how to divide fractions and hopefully give you some reason to believe it. Alright, so first, how many thirds go into one whole? Alright, you have one whole. How many thirds go into it? The answer should be 3, yeah? 1 divided by a third. How many thirds go into it? 1, 2, 3. The answer is 3. Okay. How many quarters go into one whole? Okay, so here's my whole, split it into quarters. How many quarters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to imagine that sort of equal spacing, sorry. 4 go into a whole. Alright, how many 2/3 go into 2 wholes? So here's my 2/3, sorry, 2 wholes. Let's split them into thirds. Now let's do 2/3. That's one group of 2/3. It's another group of 2/3. It's another group of 2/3. So how many 2/3 go into 2 wholes? 2 divided by 2/3, I should get 3. Yeah? 3 groups of those 2/3. You might see it as a subtraction problem as well, okay? 2 wholes minus 2/3 minus 2/3 minus 2/3 goes back to 0. So 3 groups of 2/3 gives me 0. 2 is the same as 6 on 3. So that's true. Alright, how many quarters go into a half? Well, here's a half. There's a half. How many quarters go into it? There's a quarter. There's a quarter. 2 quarters go into a half. We write this as a quarter divided by a half equals 2. Alright, we're just using reasoning at the moment. How many halves go into a quarter? Now this is slightly harder to visualize, isn't it? Alright. Here's a quarter. And I'm basically asking how many halves go into this quarter? Well, it's not going to be a whole amount, is it? Because this is bigger than the yellow bit. It's bigger than a quarter. The answer is actually, well, a half of a half goes into a quarter. Alright? So the answer is a quarter divided by a half is actually a half. So a half goes into a quarter a half times. Now, we can do it with reasoning like that, but there should be a quick way to do it, and we're going to look at that now. Alright? How you divide fractions together is sometimes known as the copy, change, flip rule. Alright? If you have a fraction divided by another fraction, what you do is you copy the first number, you change the sign so the divide becomes a times, right, and then you flip the second fraction. So C on D becomes D on C. So let's use those examples that we had up here. 1 divided by a third. 1 divided by a third, right? If I was doing it as my copy, change, flip rule, it would be 1 divided by a third. I would go like this. 1 on 1 times 3 on 1. Okay, 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. So 3 divided by 1 is just 3. I get back what I started with, yeah? So let's do the copy, change, flip rule for all of them and see what happens. Okay. 1 divided by a quarter. So that's the same as 1 times 4 on 1. I get back 4. Here's another one. 2 divided by 2/3. It's the same as 2 times 3 on 2. Now I might have to do this if you're not super confident. 2 on 1 times 3 on 2. How do you multiply fractions together? 2 times 3 divided by 1 times 2 gives me 6 on 2, which is 3. Alright? Or you might be able to see the cancellation there. Next one is a quarter divided by a half. So 1 quarter divided by a half. Let's do it. 1 quarter times 2 on 1. Alright. Multiply numerators together, multiply denominators together, you would get 2 on 4, which is well, that one should have been a half divided by a quarter. Sorry about that. So that's why this one's stuffed up. Alright, so it should be a half divided by a quarter. How many quarters go into a half? We do it, a half times 4 on 1 gives me 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay, or you see the cancellation here. Alright, next one, a quarter divided by a half. You go a quarter times 2 on 1, you do your multiplication, you get 2 on 4, you get back a half, so it works. Alright, so dividing fractions, what you have to do is copy the first fraction, change the sign of division to be multiplication, and flip the second fraction, and then do your multiplication as per normal, and that's it.